0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Real good.
Why they stopping me?
All right, what's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
We're just out here. So what do you guys know about prophecies and stuff? You guys follow any prophecies, like old Nostradamus shit?
I
stuff
know
like
all
that?
sorts of stuff, bro.
Well, I know you know all sorts of prophecies and stuff. How about you, Martin?
I know the prophecy of the boy who lived, bro.
The boy who lived?
Man, this dude used to watch this dude Jackman MP videos with me, bro. And he used to be like, it's the Illuminati. You used to get pumped about the Illuminati, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
I still do.
So, y'all know Nostradamus?
Yeah?
Yeah.
1555, Nostradamus has a prophecy. And it reads, out of the deepest part of Western Europe, from poor people, a young child shall be born, who with his tongue shall seduce many people. His fame shall increase in the eastern kingdom. He shall come to tyrannize the land. He shall rise up a hatred that had long been dormant. The child of Germany observes no law, cries and tears, fire and blood and battle.
So you predicted Hitler?
Okay, cool. So you're putting the dots together. You're kind of getting it. There was other people around that time that were prophesizing from the 1800s.
When does he write this?
That was in 1555.
All right.
Okay. So others had also had quote unquote visions and said there was two wars coming. Second one's going to be greater than the first, but after the first war, money would have little value, and that's going to lead into the second war.
Okay.
All right. So
Who had these prophecies?
there's Austrian guys. There was
Okay.
like a woodcutter guy out there cutting the wood. Had this vision. Just random people that kept popping up.
All right.
1918. There's a group in Germany called the Thule Society, and they were meeting in the back room of the Munich hotel, and they believed that a secret race of giants who escaped the Great Flood. You guys know the flood, Noah's Ark. They escaped the Great Flood by going underground, and that they would help Germany rise to power using their advanced technologies. The Thule Society, just like other groups that meet in dark rooms, had members in all levels of society. So they had judges, they had police chiefs, military leaders, all these people. And it was getting kind of big, but again, it's kind of a secret society type deal. They ran the German Workers' Party. You know what that became?
The Nazi party?
They sure did.
Okay.
So the Fuel Party ran them?
The Thule Society
Society.
had members that ran the German Workers' Party, which eventually became the Nazi Party. One of their most prominent members was a guy named Dietrich Eckart. And Dietrich Eckart realized that they were going to need a leader. Someone that could be out in the front, be the face of this movement, all right? So Eckart, at that hotel, sees a young corporal ranting to a crowd. He saw potential in that soldier. He saw not just a young soldier, but he saw a man that he claims he saw in a vision when he was in a seance.
So he said he saw Hitler in a vision
Correct.
before he discovered him?
Correct. So he saw this man in a vision, and he said he was going to be a powerful man, a Führer. Does anyone know what Führer is? Because I don't. I didn't make a note on that.
What Führer means?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, anyways,
Führer?
we'll look it up here in a
I
second.
mean, ruler?
But that young soldier was Hitler.
Yeah.
All right. So for 4 years, Dietrich Eckart becomes Hitler's mentor. And through the Thule Society and Eckhart's mentoring, Hitler got everything he needed to raise to power. He got money, influence, connections, lessons in public speaking, everything that led up to him eventually seizing power.
So who is Dietrich Eckhart though?
He is the most prominent member of the Thule Society.
But what did he do? Like, do you know what he did?
He was a
at the time?
socialite. He was just a dude.
He just had money.
Yeah. He was a guy.
Did his money come from his family or from somewhere else?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look that up.
Okay.
In December of 1923, this dude Dietrich Eckhart is dying. And witnesses claimed that his last words were about his greatest creation, and as follows: "Follow Hitler, he will dance, but it is I who called the tune. I have initiated him into the secret doctrine. I opened his centers of vision and given him the means to communicate with the powers."
Communicate with the powers, is that the meth that he used to be addicted to?
Probably. I don't know. He was hopped up on meth. One of the points that I'm going to try to draw with this stuff, though, too, is whenever there's someone in power, typically there's someone whispering in his ear. There's someone that got that guy. The face is never really who's in charge of things, right?
Yeah.
So, dude, Hitler loved Eckhart. Hitler dedicated Mein Kampf to Eckhart. Now, Eckhart...
I never thought
Yeah.
there was dedications in that book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I never thought about that.
So Eckhart taught Hitler how to lead, but there was a con man who claimed that he was a Danish nobleman with psychic powers named Erik Jan Hansen, who taught Hitler how to be a showman. So he took him to the next level of the, like, he was the guy that, Hitler was kind of a fave, He had a trembling hand, but this guy...
He was an art student, wasn't he? I remember that.
A failed art student.
Yeah,
but this guy, Erik Hansen, taught him to take that trembling hand and make it into a fist.
You turned him into P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, basically.
All right,
Get out
I
there
got
and
you.
get him going. Now, Erik Jan Hansen claimed to be a prophet, and he would hold these events at his Palace of the Occult, where he went into these trances. And this one time he goes into this trance and he prophesied about this great building that he saw aflame. Not a small building, but a big building, and it's going to burn down. Well, 5 days after that, the Reich building in Germany burns down and Hitler seizes power.
I mean, I could say I see this one building on fire and then go light it on fire 5 days later.
Okay, there you go. So, again, he's a con man, right? What wound up happening is people think that he had inside information, knew that there was a plot to do this, knew there was a plot to get Hitler into power, and they were using all these prophecies and everything like that to further that along, right? So he has this vision at his Palace of the Occult. Well, the con man Hansen may have slipped up a little bit because he knew a little bit too much, and 3 weeks later they found him dead in a field, shot in the head. So they took care of him. They took him out.
So he
spoke up. He shouldn't have spoke up.
But what I'm saying is, like, he could see burning buildings that burned 5 days later, but he couldn't see that he was going to get shot in the head 3 weeks after that.
Exactly. Bow! Again, he's a con man, right? Mm-hmm. So now with this Hansen guy out of the way, guess who comes next? Joseph Goebbels enters the chat and becomes the minister of propaganda and wrote many of Hitler's speeches. So there's a speech going around right now online that everyone's been watching, and it's been AI translated into English so you can actually hear what he was saying. Mm-hmm. That was the January 30th, 1939 address to the Reichstag. That's where Hitler proclaims himself a prophet and starts ranting about the Jewish bankers and the financiers that were plunging the world into a war. And this is also where Hitler proposes the annihilation of the Jewish race in Europe.
Wait, so all these people just claim to be prophets?
Yes.
I didn't know. I never heard that.
Hitler was heavy into the occult. But
Well,
again,
I knew that, but I didn't know that he declared himself prophetic.
Have you listened to the?
No, I don't really check out Hitler's greatest hits, bro.
Hey, I
I'm not into
understand.
that.
Neither do I. I'm not into that myself, but I'm into history. And I'll tell you what, you better know your history because it repeats itself. Ain't that right?
That's right.
Okay. So, Goebbels would go further to do these crazy things, right? And again, they're really playing on these prophecies and stuff. So he would take Nostradamus' prophecies and he would edit them. And then he would make these pamphlets that they would drop all over Europe. And it started convincing the Germans that they were on the right side. It started convincing everyone else that it was inevitable because it was a prophecy that was bound to happen anyways. Goebbels was a terrible dude. So, we're going to take a quick jump way back in time. Now, I think this is where Josh is going to get interested because he knows a lot about this stuff.
I'm interested. I'm just waiting.
You're
to get to the end.
Just waiting to get into before you jump in. All right. So 486 BC, ancient Persia, King Artaxerxes. He also goes. What's the other name?
Ossia Harris.
Ossia Harris. He also went by Xerxes as well, or they named him Xerxes. Again, these are different languages and stuff throughout the time that are talking about the same guy. But he rules the Persian Empire. But their second in command, the dude that's whispering in his ear, is this dude named Haman. And Haman's this dude that, he's the second in command of the Persian Empire.
Wait, you ever seen Aladdin?
Yeah.
So he's Jafar.
Basically, yeah, if you can think of that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen Aladdin, but I didn't know.
It's that kind of, again, it's the advisor.
He's the royal vizier.
Yeah. So Haman, being the second command of the Persian Empire, has, it's a big deal for him, and he has these perks that come with it. So, like, when he's out walking the streets and stuff, people are supposed to bow down to him. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's out walking one day, just having a stroll, and there's this guy named Mordecai, who's a Jew, that refused to bow down to him. And it pissed Haman off to, like, an irrational level of anger.
You gotta bow down, dude.
Yeah, dude, you gotta follow the rules, I guess. So Haman goes back to Artaxerxes and he says, hey, I need to take care of Mordecai. And he wants to devise a plan to punish him. All right, well now, at this time, because things are crazy back then, right? Society is completely different than what we understand today. Artaxerxes was on the hunt for a new queen because he had banished his old queen out of the kingdom because he said, hey, come on down to the palace. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not coming down to the palace. So when he called and summoned her, she didn't come. So she had to fucking go. So he's out there looking for this new queen.
So he was an incel or what?
Dude, it's crazy. I don't know, dude. These guys were wackadoos anyways. And again, with all the inbreeding and everything like that, who the fuck knows? But so Artaxerxes is on the hunt for a new queen, and that's when he meets up with this lady, Esther, who is a woman who is said to be exceedingly beautiful, who also happened to be a Jew, who also happened to be
I'm not going to tell you what she is.
I'm not going to tell you what she is. She was Mordecai's cousin, and she was a Jew. But she's Mordecai's cousin. No one else knows that she's a Jewess, though. So Artaxerxes doesn't know. That's what they call them. Don't giggle at that. It was a Jewess. But so she's kind of like, and the Jews aren't, they're not full-blown hated, but they're not really, like, looked upon.
They're immigrants.
Yeah,
dude.
they're immigrants.
They're immigrants in a foreign land, yeah.
Yeah, so, had Esther proclaimed that she was a Jew, there was a great chance that Artaxerxes would never take her for a queen. So Haman wants to punish Mordecai. So he goes to Artaxerxes and he asks him, he said, hey man, I'm going to build this giant 75-foot gallows and I'm going to hang Mordecai from it right in the town square. And Artaxerxes is like, yeah, that's cool. Sounds reasonable. And then he goes, well, I don't want to stop there. Not only do I want to hang Mordecai from the 75-foot gallows, I want to round up all these Jews and I want to kill them all. We want to exterminate the Jews out of Persia. They are a fucking problem. Okay? Artaxerxes says, seems legit. I trust you. Round them up. Let's go. Well, Mordecai writes to his cousin Esther in secret because, they can't be knowing about this stuff. He starts telling him about the situation.
They
says,
couldn't
hey,
email back then.
well, yeah. You think of how tough it would have to be to smuggle in messages to this person,
Yeah.
But she was nervous, and with good reason, because anyone that approached Artaxerxes in his chambers without being summoned was subject to death. And the only way that could stop, like legitimately, is he would hold out his scepter and you would go up and put your hand on it, and he'd be like, all right, what the fuck do you want, right? So Artaxerxes, she goes to Artaxerxes. He, says, oh, Esther, what's going on? Puts the thing out. She puts her hand on it. And he says, Esther, you're beautiful. I love you. I will give you anything you want all the way up until half of my kingdom. So anything you want, you let me know. She said, all right, well, let's have these banquets. I want to have these parties. You're making me queen. I want to have these parties. I want to get everyone together. He says, all right, that sounds good. Let's start having these parties, right? All right. So from there, they start having these banquets. And during the banquets, Esther kind of exposes Haman of some shady business. There's this other story, too, where Mordecai actually thwarted the assassination attempt of Artaxerxes.
Correct.
So what wound up happening is Haman's going to sleep one night, and he can't sleep, so he's having someone read accounts to him, and he finds out that this guy, Mordecai, thwarted this assassination attempt. So he's like, oh man, we gotta celebrate this guy. We're gonna put the robes on this guy. We're gonna parade him through, which is crazy because
Didn't they try to kill him?
well, Artaxerxes didn't really know it was Mordecai at the time. So what wound up happening is Artaxerxes asked Haman, what should we do for this guy? He did such a great thing. And Haman's like, you should let him wear your crown and let him wear your robe. And we should put him on a horse and ride him through the town. And Artaxerxes says, that's a great idea. And then when they bring forth Mordecai, Haman's like, what the fuck? This is the Jew that wouldn't bow down to me. And Artaxerxes is like, fuck it, he saved my life. Better put him on that horse and you better walk him around town. Crazy. So not only does Haman at that point get humiliated, when they get back to the banquets and stuff, Esther starts really like telling him, hey, this guy's not good. He's like pinching pennies, taking fucking, skimming off the top. He's a bad dude. And he also wants to kill all these Jews. And I got to let you know, I'm your new queen, but I'm a Jewess. So if you kill all the Jews, you got to kill me too. And Xerxes is, well, that's fucked up. I'm not killing you. So Haman, get up on that 75-foot gallows you got from Mordecai.
Damn, that's called irony, bro.
Bro, it gets crazy from here, all right? So this dude Haman had 10 sons. So Esther says, listen, we can't stop at Haman because if his sons want to revenge his father's death, they're going to carry out the plan to kill all the Jews. So we're going to hang these motherfuckers up too. So the next day, Haman and his 10 sons are hanging.
That's terrible.
Okay. Here's where it gets crazy. So, when the Hebrew scribes wrote down the story of Esther when they were compiling these stories, because again, the Queen Esther saved the Jews, and it wound up actually being this celebration, which we'll get to later.
It's called Purim.
But they set up this whole thing where they're writing it all down. Well, in Hebrew language, when you're writing it down, each letter has a number that's associated with it. And when they wrote down the story of Esther and then they wrote out Haman's 10 sons, there was 4 letters that were off. 3 of them were really small compared to what they should be, and 1 of them was really big compared to what they should be. So Tav, Shin, and Zayan, those 3 letters, were really small, and the letter Vav was very large. If you take those letters and you add them up using the numerology through the Hebrew text, it gets the Jewish year 5707. Well, we don't go by the Jewish calendar. We go by the Gregorian calendar. When you take the 5707 and apply that to the Gregorian calendar, it comes up to 1946.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a pattern that is established here. The pattern established with Esther shows that 10 enemies being hanged for the attempted genocide of the Jews, and the scribes showed it would repeat in October of 1946. What happened in October of 1946?
Isn't that where Hitler fell?
Nah, Hitler was already dead. But in 1946 was the Nuremberg trials.
Oh.
Okay, so 11 guys get rode up. But 2 hours before they go to hang them, Hermann Göring committed suicide by chomping down on a cyanide pill he had hidden in his cell, leaving 10 to hang. And then one by one, the Nazis officials were led up to the gallows to be hung. The ninth one was this guy named Julius Streicher, whose last words were Purim Fest 1946.
What does that mean?
So Purim is the celebration of the Jewish, it's the Jewish celebration of Esther's victory over Haman.
Oh. So that would indicate that he was aware of this?
He not only was he aware of it. So again, I'm prophecy. Sometimes you can look at it as like a glimpse into the future, but people can weaponize prophecy to make it what they want it to be. Now, is it the chicken or the egg? Did this guy, what was his name again? Did this guy Dietrich Eckhart read the prophecy and truly believe, and this is how it went down? Or did he read the prophecy and then just pick a guy and try to force it to happen? Either way, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And 10 sons hung for genocide. 10 Nazis hung for genocide. And it was written 1,800 years before Hitler ever came around. Pretty fucking crazy stuff.
More than 1,800 years before Hitler came.
2000-ish.
Yeah,
That's not crazy to you?
I still think Harry Potter is more interesting, though.
Listen, man, you can say the Bible is some fairy tales and shit, and I don't care.
Well, that's from the Bible? I didn't know that was from the Bible.
And that's why I didn't tell you, because you'd be like, I'm not going to fucking believe any of this shit. Yes, Esther is a book in the Bible. And legitimately, those Hebrews that wrote that down, it predicted, and there's many manuscripts that they wrote it down the same way, that are physical copies that we have today, that point to 1946.
So predicting things is very easy. But the thing is that everything works in a cycle, because humans really aren't that smart. So history repeats itself because we do the same cycle. We're built in a cycle. Physics tells us we're in a cycle, and we're always going to repeat that same cycle over and over and over again, because it's exactly who we are. You can see videos of people, they're like, it's an 80-year cycle, it's a 90-year cycle. The laws of physics say that every time an event happens, it gets bigger. And it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger. The prophecy is just an example of the same thing. Here's a pattern of it happening small, and then here's a pattern of it happening bigger. And the next time, it's going to happen even bigger, because that's how that works. It keeps expanding. So nothing's new under the sun. We're going to repeat the same things that we've always done.
Well, that's why,
over and over and over again.
like, I go back to Nostradamus, right? So Nostradamus very well read these texts. He's a smart dude, right? So it's once you read the texts, you can start to see the patterns, and then you can start making kind of baseless.
We're literally going to do the same pattern again right now. We're literally about to do the same pattern again.
I understand it.
They're going to stir up hate for the same people that they stirred up for every time. And if you follow the pattern, that side's going to win. Like, that's how it is done in you can take any historical event and it will repeat the same thing over and over and over again. So the end of that cycle is going to have to be global, because that's the biggest it can get. So until it's a global big cycle, I would say Hitler was pretty close, dude. It wasn't quite global, but that was pretty close.
Global? What are you talking
World
about?
War II. What do you?
It was World War.
Okay.
Global War II.
Okay.
The sequel.
Was Peru in this thing? Was the Congo? In
I mean,
this
I don't know what all resources went to who. So conceivably, maybe yes.
Was India in this fight?
They didn't commit one way or the other.
Okay.
But I mean, the fight could have gotten to them at some point.
I'm telling you, the next time it happens, it's going to be global war, bro. Like, you're talking about everybody versus everybody at this point for the next go round.
I disagree with you. I think people love fucking delivery cheeseburgers and Netflix too much for that shit to happen now.
People in the Congo don't have delivery cheeseburgers and Netflix.
Yeah, but the majority of the world does.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Dude,
You're living a lie if you think that, bro.
Yeah, but
there's a billion people in India.
Okay.
All right. How many of those billion people in India live at our level here in the United States?
I don't know.
Go ask any of these dudes working in
But
these gas stations that just got here 10
the
years ago, they'll tell you about
the
it.
ones that get to pick to press the button to go
Afghanistan
to
has
the ones that press the buttons
400 million
the
people.
ones that press the buttons to make this stuff happen, they all live the same. Actually, they live better than us.
They press the buttons for now. They couldn't win in Afghanistan. They couldn't beat the people. They couldn't beat them. They took all their weapons, all their toys.
And what are they going to do now?
They went there and they couldn't beat them. Well, eventually these people are going to get tired of it, and then you're not going to beat them either. And that's
Then they're
when
gonna go build McDonald's and KFCs over there, and then they're gonna assimilate just like all the other
They
countries.
can't. They tried to go over there and do that and failed miserably. Remember the plane taking off and people hanging on? And what are you talking about? They were defeated. All that power doesn't work when the whole country turns on
Did you see
you.
that giant effigy of Baal they burnt in Iran?
Yeah, dude, Iran's gonna topple for the same reason. Your fighter jets do no good when the whole people turn on you. It's over. You're gonna topple now. It's done. It's game
So
over.
their only hope is Elon's fucking robots to get back up to speed a little bit quicker than they have been to take over. That's the only way you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Now imagine that the people in America do this same thing. And if you don't see what's going on right now, they're turning that shit up every day, bro. They're turning
Cranking
that
the heat up. I hope you
every
like
day.
it. Hot,
Whatever,
hot.
however you want it to be turned. Whatever wants to piss you off today, let's get it. It was before it was taxes were gonna piss you off. No, dude, they're trying to turn that heat up. You have cops shooting people in the streets. You have people in the streets fucking whatever going fucking wild, right? That's crazy.
And here's the other thing
You're gonna
too.
turn that heat
we
up.
talk about. I started this off by talking about prophecy, and I purposely did not lead it towards the Bible. But a point I want to make to you and to everybody is, I'm not asking you to be a believer. I don't care if you don't read the book at this point. What I'm telling you is, I did. I can see the patterns. I can see what's coming, and it would behoove you to do a little research and research your history and research the word and see what's happening.
I like to be surprised.
Well, good fucking luck, dude.
Guess what?
You know what, though?
you knowing what's coming
Yeah, it
isn't
doesn't
going to help
change
you
it.
stop it.
That's true.
I'm not trying to stop
Honestly,
it, bro.
I feel freer
I'm-
than both of you because I don't know what's coming. Y'all do,
No,
and
you
it.
don't feel freer than me because I don't care.
Yeah,
what's
that's
coming.
what I'm. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is like,
I'm able to talk about it openly because I don't. Care.
I'm not worried. I don't have the anxiety and the anxiousness when I talk about this stuff. Like it's going to happen.
We're down, dude. We're down.
Punch
bro.
my clock. I don't want to die. Like I don't want to commit suicide or
Look,
whatever.
I personally think a world of robots doing all the labor.
But it's terrible,
No, that's why.
dude. To me, that's terrible. I'm out.
We're just gonna hang out, bro.
I'll do that at the kingdom, bro.
Or maybe there'll be a solar flare.
How much of our? Well, that's true too. Now, there's all sorts of these. And dude, I didn't even touch base into astrology because these motherfucking Nazis, these guys that were whispered in Hitler's ear, were into all sorts of stuff. I don't know how we grazed over the fact that they were talking about giants living in the center of the earth.
Giants aren't real.
Oh, okay, I understand your point on that.
Giants. aren't real.
That kind of touches on the breakaway civilization thing that I was telling you about because there's like one of the breakaway civilization theories is that they got to Antarctica, dug into the Earth through Antarctica. That's why we don't get access, and that's how you get into the inner Earth society.
It's because of conservation. We
Listen.
don't go.
We don't need giants because men are evil enough.
Oh no, I
We
get
don't
you.
need aliens because men are evil enough. We don't need boogeymen
I
because
understand.
men are evil enough. Those are inventions.
Obama said aliens were real yesterday.
I would say that if I
When-
was
when
on the
did he say
Epstein
that?
list.
He was
too.
on a podcast, and the guy straight up asked him, "Are aliens real?" And he said, "Yes, they are." But then he also said, "But I've never seen them."
Yeah.
And they're not hidden at that
They're
area.
they're not here. They're not
Area.
here. They're not in area.
What's
50.
that area?
Stop trying to go to Area 51 and do your anime
No,
run.
the Naruto run.
The Naruto run. Huh?
They would vaporize
Jesus.
you, dude. They would use the discombobulator. Did you hear that Trump gave it a name? The discombobulator. That's what they call. That's what they
it
call.
What's it called?
The directed energy weapons that they use. They're called the code name
Your nose starts
is
bleeding?
the discombobulator, which is kind of a badass. Even
It
though
sounds like straight out
it's
of
not a
Fallout.
fearsome name,
So, does this
but it's
weapon
fucking hilarious.
affect
Name.
people that are indoors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so it doesn't matter that you're indoors.
No, it doesn't matter that you're indoors.
It's just gonna take a certain area.
to me, it's like a microwave gun. Like you know how like a microwave will like
Yeah, wherever you point this thing.
it's gonna get you, and it like cooks you or does something to you from the inside that causes you to bleed out of your eyes and nose.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I think it just messes with your inner ear and stuff.
I mean, they said that they took
Where
out.
did they, when they did it in Venezuela, right?
Yeah, they said that they took out 200 guys with 30 soldiers, 30 U.S. soldiers. They took out 20, and then
Wait, the weapon took him out?
They just neutralized.
they 30 U.S. soldiers took
Okay.
out at least 200 of their soldiers.
You hear war stories all the time about how 10 guys took out fucking all sorts of.
Well, I mean, they've acknowledged that they used like.
Oh, yeah,
they
they've
have
acknowledged-
acknowledged that they used the weapon.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
We got this kid at work, Nehemiah, that just recently got out of the military. Yeah, I know. He's told us some wackadoo stories, bro.
I don't think you should share them.
No, I'm not sharing them. And who knows? Whatever.
You should blank
He'll
out.
be on here anyways. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be on here. He's gonna tell you all about it.
I mean, if it comes out of his mouth, that's I guess.
I guess as long as he still gets his checks, it's all good. But hey, we appreciate you guys.